Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams, and life becomes exciting with each passing day, and love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you'll derive just by being alive. Now here is the best part: you have a head start if you are amongst the very young at heart.
Dana was born November 1st, All Saints Day, Midway Hospital, 1955, St. Paul, Minnesota. About a week early. My husband said, "Don't go to the hospital. It's a week early." I said, "I think I better." And so I did, and there she was at 11 o'clock at night.
You know, as our firstborn, of course, I worked hard at having her delivered because I paced up and down that waiting room quite a bit, and I was very pleased that she was born before midnight on the 1st of November because that was All Saints Day. I wanted her hopefully to be born on that day, and she was, to have all the saints look after her.
We couldn't ask for a better baby when we got her home. She'd wake up she weighed 7 pounds 11 ounces, very lucky, and heavy enough so that she lasted a long time. So in the morning when she got up at 7 o'clock or 6, whatever, you just slapped the bottle in her mouth. She drank it up, and then she slept till about 11 o'clock, and I think she's been doing that ever since. Sleep until 11 o'clock, that is, or close to it.
I said she was going to be Miss America one day, and that I was always going to love her, and I still do. I just love you, Dana.
Before long, Teresa was on the scene for her to dote on and play with and take care of, and the two of them enjoy each other's company. Playing in the backyard pool and the little old swimming pool we had there that they enjoyed a lot.
You know, I think she recalls as a youngster helping out to take care of them and even helping to feed them and all that with bottles, and so she was like I said, she was an ideal child.
And I looked up to her because she had lots of friends and she was very social, which was something I wasn't. So I always admired her. She was what we called twinkle toes. She walked on her tippy toes all the time. And I can still remember one Christmas she got some sort of a costume, and it had these little high-heeled shoes, and she would tiptoe around in those shoes like she was a little princess. I was so jealous because of course I got books. So when she had Jessica and I heard you calling her the little princess, I thought, yeah, that's right.
She took the time to do that with us, which was really, I think that was really special. She was, 3 years older than me and 4 years older than Mike, and so we'd cram in the closet and shut the door, and she'd give a show projector on the wall, and she'd read it, and I think how smart she was.
I feel for her that she had to be the first the oldest child in the family, and I'm very proud that she actually lived through that. She was the test ground for the rest of us, and she broke a lot of barriers for us, so we didn't have to. Broke a lot of ground and cleared the path, you know. So I'm very proud of her for being able to do that for us.
And she called me a rugrat. She called me a walking, talking tape recorder. Actually, all of them did. So, well, I was too little. She just didn't want me around. I was the one that bugged everybody. I don't think there's anything about her that bugs me. I know, that's kind of scary.
I know, I think we bathed together though, naked.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Really? Oh.
That's what I was told. I don't know, I was 1 when she was 19. I'm trying to remember. If she didn't rub me the wrong way, I guess, then she must have been nice. She's been a great older sister, as older sisters go, I guess. I mean, I've got 4 of them, so I can't call her a favorite. And we know how well that works.
As a kid, she was always upfront and straightforward and treated people nicely. It should be the case.
You know, we took some family trips together, and I remember this one time we were in a trailer park with our trailer, and she wasn't able to wash her hair for a couple days, and she complained about having scuzzy hair, you know, which was we always laughed about that. But as you know, as they get older, especially when they got into their teenage years, and they always had their little problems, especially when they were going to high school, I guess, and they just had different ideas of clothing and neatness around the room and all that. Never any problem until she started going out with young men, I think. That's when it all changed.
She started working at a very young age, and I just really admire that. She was a hard worker, and she would share her clothes with me, and I think and she didn't care. I mean, she was really kind about it. And she'd even let me use the fingernail polish to match.
She'd climb into bed and she'd lay down and she'd say, "Will you pull my covers up?" And then she'd put her hands like this and she'd sleep like that all night long. And I, like an idiot, would pull her covers up for her.
I can say, remember the Cat Stevens concert? That was a lot of fun. Thanks, Dad, for those tickets.
But she found 2 really nice girlfriends that are still her friends, for 3 now, for a very long time. And in a lifetime, if you can claim 2 or 3 really close, good friends, that's about all you're entitled to.
I met Dana in the school year of 1969 and 70 at beloved Durham Hall. She was my first friend there. The date, I just know that I knew her well. We had a lot of common friends and things like that. She was the one who I remember the most from that year.
I met Dana in high school in 1970. Hung out down in the lunchroom together. I think the reason we became friends is because we share a lot of the same interests and a lot of the same values and how we were raised. And
freshman year, 14 years old. So that is many, many, many years ago. And you just have a great connection right away. And that's what I experienced with Dana.
I remember thinking, this is, Dana, her boyfriend, Paul. He's there at the airport with us. Dana's all thinking she's going to be gone all of 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever, bent out of shape because she's going to miss him so much. And I'm thinking she's not going to get on the airplane. And we planned this whole trip. But she got on the airplane, we went. With my sister, we went to Stratford-on-Avon and Warwick Castle and all this stuff. And we were touring all day long. And I think maybe Windsor was in there too, but I'm not certain. Number 10 Downing Street, and I just was amazed considering this is the Prime Minister of England and his home, and that you could go right up in front of the front door and take a picture. It was a wonderful trip. I've always it put a travel bug in me. I've always liked going back to Europe. I haven't been there for a number of years, but...
No, we never got in trouble together. I'm not lying. There's no dirt. And what kind of friend would I be if I told you if there was?
I think we've remained friends because, We're real similar, I think, in personality. She's respectful of other people's feelings. We've never gotten mad at each other in all these years. That has not even, and that wouldn't have even remotely crossed our minds, I don't think. So it's just being respectful of our friendship.
In high school, that's when we met. We saw an awful lot of each other, and that's when we fell in love. I did my darndest to try to impress her with all the neat cars that we had, and we had a boat at the time and a big house, and no matter what I did, she wasn't impressed. I couldn't believe it.
Dana is a very humble person, and she's a very open person, and she's a very honest person. And those are the qualities that, I guess I look for in a friend.
I realized that that's something else that was very special about her, is that she was not materialistic at all. At all. She's a genuine article. She doesn't care what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of car you drive, what kind of house you live in. If you're a nice person, she likes you.
Dana has helped us develop into the people we are today, right, Paul?
Yeah, I remember being at her graduation party that she got her degree, her diploma from high school at the Alexander Ramsey. I've never been in such a big place in my life as that day in Alexander Ramsey High School, because it was just a huge place.
Dana, was busy with her stuff and her things, and you. You.
I don't know, the next thing I can think of is her getting married. How she told her family that finally she was getting married after this long relationship with you. And she stuck her hand, she woke up in the morning, she stuck her hand out of bed, "Look what Paul gave you last night."
I remember sitting up in the altar, we were holding hands, and hers were trembling like a leaf. I was the proudest guy in the world. What attracted me to Dana in the beginning are many of the same things that attract me to her today. It's her warmth, it's her caring, her loving, her sincerity. And those kind of qualities you just don't find in a lot of people.
When we both became moms for the first time, we were both pregnant together, and it was, kind of just sharing thoughts back and forth, and then we wound up with having sons, so it was just, really neat to both have these little boys, and again, comparing notes.
What I love best about Mom is that she is one of the kindest people, if not the kindest person I've ever met. She'll do anything for her kids, she'll do anything for the family, for her friends.
I'm giving the boys their Tuesday night bath.
She's just an incredible person.
Alright, you can get the kids now.
She's always giving. Never ceases to amaze me how much she gives herself to other people.
And I remember one time when Dana and I were both pregnant. Dana with Jonathan, me with Krista. We were out shopping and we couldn't try on clothes, so we each had one ear pierced, so we split the cost of the ear piercing, and I still have mine, so I only have one here. I have two here and only one here. But I think Dana eventually got her second one on this ear. But
I like her innocence and the way that she views life. Think the best of everybody and everything until proven wrong. No matter what, she always seems to be there for me. Loving, supporting, and nurturing. Well, because I know she's my mother, and so she's supposed to love me, but just the way she treats my son makes me feel that much better.
Ever since I was little, she always Like if I needed something or if I wanted something, I didn't even need it, she would go out of her way to make sure that I would get it.
What does she look
She
like
would never
now?
buy things for herself. She still doesn't. And she sacrifices everything for her children.
I just wanted to tell Dana what a wonderful mother I think she is, and one of the neatest things that she ever did that I wish I would have done with my kids was to throw hero parties when her kids did something special. And I never knew about it until Jonathan saved Jack in the pool one day from drowning. And I was pretty shook up about it, and I didn't say enough to Jonathan to tell him how much I deeply appreciated that until later. But Dana said to me, yeah, we had a hero party for Jonathan last night for saving Jack. And I thought, what a neat idea. And that's what I liked about Dana. She took the good things in people and she always brought them to light. And she really did that with her kids. And I think that's what made her such a terrific mom.
Who does Christopher look like? Mommy, huh?
Are you being a good girl? Yeah. Are you taking a bath?
Of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. This is the fountain
The
of life.
thing that I cherish most about Mom is that we have a very close relationship compared with a lot of my friends and their parents. They hide stuff from their moms. They're not completely honest, but I feel like I can tell her anything.
I remember back in elementary school, I was picked on and I was teased. 6th and 7th grade, I was teased really badly. And I'd come home from school a lot of days just in tears. And I right when I walked in the door, I didn't even have to say anything, and Mom would be right there, and she knew it was what I was going through. And she claimed that she had the same problems back in elementary school, and so she just would always give me a big hug right when I walked in the door. It was one of the times that I really remember being close to her, because we could really connect on a lot of things.
As the years went on, we wound up on the softball fields at North Dale together because our kids were playing t-ball. So Tony and Christopher and Joe and Jonathan, and so we spent many dusty mornings on the t-ball fields over at North Dale.
I think it was about that time that Joni decided to get all the moms together and start a mom softball league. She did that in short order, and Dana absolutely loved it. It gave her an opportunity to exercise, have fun with a lot of her friends in the neighborhood, the school, the church, and it was just an excellent experience.
And that was really nice. That was kind of a more relaxed atmosphere with Dana.
We remodeled the house in '95, thanks in large part to many family members. That was no small event. And of course, there were always the family get-togethers in the summer, 4th of July, Thanksgiving in the fall, and it was really fun. Time to find out what everybody was doing, and probably best of all, a time to see all the cousins growing up and check in with them and see what was happening.
My name is Paola.
Paola?
I live here. No.
What are you dressed up as?
Myself.
As yourself?
And I know she just fell in love with Paola. I think it was probably one of the milestone events in Jessica's life that kind of steered her toward Guatemala. Meeting Paola was a very special experience for all of us. Dana really enjoyed that trip to Destin for her to see her cousin get married. She still to this day talks about that trip, and I think we're going to have to go down there pretty soon.
There's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from
Of course, Dana was wringing her hands about her brother in Iraq. She was really happy to see him come home. Everyone was so proud, and she was so happy. You could tell by the tears in her eyes. More family get-togethers. The July 4ths were a lot of fun. Dana has really enjoyed being a part of all these major family events. In our time with the Borbooms, she's loved watching Carmen and Lydia grow up. This summer, we went to the fair. Carmen had a pig, and Lydia had some projects, and they did very, very well. It was fun. They're our source for the fresh eggs we get sometimes. She adores everyone in the family. She even adores everyone's pets. I think the feeling's mutual. I think Granny was one of those anchors in her life that never seemed to go away, was always there. It was like therapy for Dana and for the rest of us. Dana could be so direct with her grandmother, and unfortunately, sometimes it was the other way around too. And some of Granny's jokes we couldn't repeat to other people.
Joanne was telling the story about two guys talking together. And one guy said, is that Hortense over there? And the other one says, no, she looks pretty relaxed to me.
The 90th birthday was very special. So happy to be able to share Granny's 90th birthday with her. It was one of those moments in time that she'll never forget.
I haven't got time to worry. I gotta think of my next dream.
Well, the next few years we started to experience the empty nest syndrome. Everybody seemed to be flying the coop. Christopher went to UMD in '99. Of course, she was very proud when Christopher graduated. Jonathan started working at Wallen McCarthy's. He had a great time there. He did very, very well. And not surprising to us, he seemed to find his niche in life as an aspiring car salesman. Oh man, when she heard about Tracy, she was sobbing for the better part of a day. She was so happy. Nathan got married, of course, in 2003. I think her love of family only got stronger up at Blue Water. Joshua came to us in a very good time. Joshua brings a smile to Dana's face and a warmth to her that I don't think she could get anywhere else. Joshua's visits with us every Friday have been just great. Dana loves it. It's something that she looks forward to every week. He's just a little ray of sunshine, and we have so much fun with him. And I think Josh was just what the doctor ordered for Dana. She's convinced that he's played a huge role in her recovery.
Love you truly, I do. Cheese. Woo! Get it! Woo! Get it! Right there, Joshua. Oh!
I am just so happy to be able to say happy birthday.
It was like something horrible that happened to me, you know, because she's my flesh and blood, and I never expected that something like that would happen. Although I tried to warn her about the smoking, but I figured, well, she's still young enough, and but I thought, that was for years down the line. Then when she got older, that might affect her, her longevity. So I didn't expect it when she was only 48. So it was I was, like I say, was horrified and very depressed, and immediately started to think of how I could help, and what I could do to help her out of that dilemma. And of course, I immediately I had just recently talked to a friend of mine about that place in California, and I immediately started looking into that to see if maybe that's where she needed to go to get her cancer cured. And I was willing to send her there. I know it would have been very expensive, and I didn't care if, as I told my wife on the phone after she left, and fortunately John and Kelly were there at the time, and so my wife went home with them, and as we talked on the phone about Dana's condition, and I said, well, whatever it takes, she's our baby. And she was our baby, and whatever it takes, we'll do to help her out.
I guess the word is devastated. Until you're really faced with it, I don't think you get the full impact, and it's been hard. And when I heard, I just knew I had to be strong for her. So I'm trying.
The initial shock was hard, and I remember saying to Scott, if God could just let her live 10 more years. Thinking, okay, then she'd be about 58, And then as she started responding really well to the treatment, I thought, no, that's not enough. I want to be 30 or 40. So, and then I stopped bargaining with God, because I've really learned over the years. That was just my initial reaction. And then, and no matter what happens, and I know Dana will be around another 30 or 40 years, And I hate to see her on this journey, but I believe that there's a reason God has her on the journey, and your family as well. I've just really learned to trust God and to just say, you know what, God, no matter what happens, it's your deal and I trust you. So I know it's going to be 30 or 40 years. 10 was too little.
Confused. Confused that good people have to have bad things happen to them, and confused that the good Lord would actually want to take my sister from me. And so I just knew when it happened that she was going to make it through. I knew that there was enough power of prayer in our family that we were going to pray her right on through that damn thing. So I had it in my heart, in my mind, that she was going to do it, and I kind of felt that way through the whole thing.
She's doing it.
Yeah, she was. We all prayed real hard for her, and I'm sure she went through hell, but I think we're all the better for it.
I was scared to death when I heard about Dana's lung cancer. I thought I was going to lose my sister, and it was very difficult. I was at Mom and Dad's when we heard, of course. When I heard anything for the first time at all, it was Good Friday, which also made me flash back to TM. And it was difficult to be around Mom and Dad, because I know that being your own child has got to be worse on anybody than just, than any other relationship. I think if it's your own child, it's got to be just horrendous. And yeah, I was scared to death. I thought I was going to lose her, and I didn't even know about the 20% chance at that point. And she made things sound so positive and upbeat, and she was being strong for us, which was amazing. But then when the chemo went so well, boy, was that a relief, and all the prayers. And I think I prayed more in those few months probably than I ever have in my whole life. I actually woke up in the morning and prayed in the morning, and I don't do that. Yeah.
It was sad because I was stuck in Germany, and I heard it, and it was, I was obviously not able to get home immediately, and not that I needed to get home immediately, but it was just, some bad news that nobody likes to hear, and then it kind of makes you wonder, well, time is short, life is short, you should get out and do what you need to do as a person, as an individual, as a mother, as a grandmother. And it was kind of shocking because, nothing, small things have kind of snuck into our family, but nothing is big in my mind. I thought we were kind of immune from the whole, we're younger and now we have cancer, which is, it's not an easy pill to swallow. So that kind of just made me think I'm getting old, 30 years old, and it's just like, you got to make do and get going and do what you want to do, and hopefully, everybody will support you in doing that.
I was in denial. I was numb. I was numb. I didn't feel, I couldn't cry, I couldn't feel. I was numb. I thought this was it. I'm going to lose my friend. The morning glories, Dana. Can you remember the morning glories? I gave you these seeds for Christmas and you planted them in the spring, worrying that you didn't see them plant, you wouldn't see them even bloom, let alone. And now it's on their second year that you've seen them look cool.
I was devastated. I felt at a loss because what can I do? I felt very bad. It's indescribable. Your first feelings, and helpless, extremely helpless. What we do for each other is reach strength. Yeah, we always make each other feel good, no matter how bad things are.
When I heard the news about her cancer last year, I really believed that this was something that Dana could beat. And I believed it because Dana has a very strong constitution. She internally is very, very strong. And I think that's what you need many times. Besides medicine, you need that piece to really, you know, to be as strong as you can in whatever, you know, is handed to you. So, you know, that's the one thing that I noticed, that when she told me, she was very, I mean, she was really amazingly sad, but she was also very strong, and that helped me to be strong too with her illness. And so, and I'm sure, you know, even when she goes in for her visits, she's got to give strength to others. You know, Dana, every day down in the classroom, we begin class with prayer, and I always comment on the beauty of the day, and, you know, even on the cloudy days, I remind the kids that, you know, the cloudy days remind us how beautiful the sunny days are. So I would like to thank God for the gift of Dana's life. And she, you know, again, like going back to what my mom had said to me when I was growing up, Dana really has helped me grow as a person. And I don't think, you know, there's so many pieces of the puzzle in one's life, and Dana is a huge piece in the puzzle of my life. And she's meant a lot to me on my faith journey. And like I mentioned before with those fruits of the Holy Spirit, one of them is long suffering, which has been real evident in her life for the past year and a half. And that's a fruit or a virtue that, you know, we can either embrace or we can turn away from. And Dana, I think, she's really embraced her long suffering, and she's taught me with dignity how to grow.
When we got that news, it was like my life was just flashing before my eyes. You know, everything that we had done together, everything that we will do together in the future, it was all just a jumble. And I just didn't know what to think, and except just to hold her tight, because without her, Dana is my yin to my yang. I believe in her, and I believe in God's compassion to let her lead a long and fulfilling life.
I didn't really know how to feel. I wasn't around much, so I didn't get to see it. I heard a lot of second and third hand information. I worried about it, but I didn't know how to feel. It still is a concern to me, but for whatever reason, it hasn't really ever felt real to me.
I was completely devastated. I actually couldn't finish my meal at the dinner table. It was one of the very few times I've ever not finished my dinner. I was deeply shocked, I guess. I mean, she deserves to be here a long time. And I was very just shocked and surprised by that, and I didn't know what to think. So
that was like a life-changing moment, because I never thought that that would happen, especially to somebody that I was so close to, and it was very surreal, absolutely surreal. I couldn't even believe it was happening. Just the thought of not having my mom with me every day, I feel better now because she's doing very well and she's proven that she can fight, so.
It was a shock. It was very devastating and sad. It was awful. Never dealt with anything like that before. It kind of very sad. When Dana had cancer when we found out last year, it made me very upset and made me cry. It's kind of okay.
I do think that Dana's a spiritual person. I think that she's very private about it, but you can tell it kind of emanates from her. You can just tell by the way she treats other people. She always treats other people with respect and caring, and that can only come from something within.
I think we've both matured. I think we moved closer together. You know, before I was always very serious and she was kind of flighty. And she got more mature and I loosened up a little bit. We came closer together and we get along a lot better now than we did when we had to share a bedroom.
Compassionate. Very kind. She never says a bad word about people. She's just always tries to be understanding of their situations. And I think she's very intelligent. I really think she's very intelligent. She amazes me with her memory. She amazes me with the things she knows about the rest of the world. She takes time to understand. She can share that with people. Her memory on foreign matters and policies and politics and governments and cultures just amazes me. And I know it's because she's so well read, and I think she's very intelligent. I don't think she ever thought she was, but I believe she is.
Oh, I think of Dana, she's a sweetheart, true blue, very compassionate, loving person. You ask her to do anything, she'll do it for you. Oh yeah, I enjoy Dana's company. We've always enjoyed each other's company. And
caring, courageous, and loving. Dana's a good listener. Yeah, when she will call, and if she's having a bad day and she vents, and if I happen to be having a bad day too, she's equally ready to stop and listen to my things too. So she's a very good listener.
Excited, like she's excited. She gets excited easily, I think. I think she cares about the family in general. And I know she cares about her own family, which is good. She's fun to be around. You know, you don't have to put on a show or you don't have to pretend. You can just be yourself and you can call a spade, and you know, it's good.
Her heart is so kind. Despite many a trial and tribulation and things that have not always been fair in life, and she's got plenty of that she still has a heart of gold, and it's the kindest person I've ever known in my life. I nurture her at heart. She wants to see the best in people and help them be that way.
She's very loving, caring, honest, optimistic, can always find the silver lining. We help each other out find that silver lining. She'll call and tell me some things that have happened, and then we can both reflect on it, and then an hour later come up with some silver lining to it all. And she does that with me. I've always felt close to her, but I think when I was going through the divorce that she really helped me through that.
You know, with Dana, she really focuses in on her family, and I love that in her.
Very compassionate. Very conscientious. And very spiritual. She's one of the most spiritual people I know. She shows her emotions, and that's one of the things I love about her. She is effervescent, she is vibrant, she tells everybody about how she feels, what's on her mind, whether she's happy or sad. She is just an open, honest communicator, and I really admire that about her.
Of course I'm proud of her. She's gone through a lot, and it takes a special woman to deal with me for 22 years. The corniest things in the world make her happy. Go 30 miles outside of the city, and within 5 minutes you're going to hear her say, "You know what I love about being away from the city? You can see the stars." My son makes me feel closer to her.
Loving and selfless and vibrant. I feel close to her all the time.
Loving, caring, incredible.
I love you, Dana. Happy birthday and many, many more.
As I did from the beginning when you were born, I loved you then and I love you now, Dana, and I always will love you.
Dana, you're living a good life. You're fighting a tough battle. And I admire your courage. And I wish you the best of everything. And I'm not going to say luck because luck has nothing to do with this. Many blessings and thank you for everything. You've been a wonderful sister. I love you, Dana.
Dana, happy birthday, happy 50th. I hope you are not sad that you're turning 50. I hope you're rejoicing that you're turning 50. I love you, Dana, very much.
Dana, I love you. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
I'm just happy to be your sister, happy that you're my sister. I think you're a very caring and loving person, and you treat others the way you want to be treated, just like the Golden Rule tells us to, and that's a wonderful thing. Not everybody can do that. I can't do that.
Say, I love you, Auntie Dana. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, 50's old. I would say just, 50 and you got, hopefully another 50 more. I believe that people with good attitudes, create their own destiny, so to speak. And I think you're going to do a great job and see some more grandchildren and hopefully see a couple of my kids. And we're all here and I think we have a good family and we all love to have you as a sister and a daughter and a mother and a grandmother and all that. Oh, I just want to say I love you, Dana. Thanks for being a good sister.
36 years now we've known each other. You've been to my 50th and now I'm finally at yours. I treasure the years we've had together and I treasure all the ones we'll have in the future. Thanks for being the thread of my years and holding me, that holds all my years together. Happy birthday, Dana. I love you, Dana. I love you very much.
Today, when I was watching the parade, and I never thought I would hear anything relevant, but what I heard today was, don't put a period where God has placed a comma, and that is so true. And I just thought, boy, of all days to hear that, knowing that I was going to be doing this, yes, we need to remember not to place a period where He has placed a comma. Dana, I love you.
Happy birthday, Dana, and may you have many more. I'm happy that you are reaching the halfway mark of a century, 50 years. It won't be long to be catching up to me. And I hope you and Barbara have many years of happiness together. Amen.
Dana, every day down in the classroom, we begin class with prayer. I always comment on the beauty of the day, and even on the cloudy days, I remind the kids that the cloudy days remind us how beautiful the sunny days are. So I would like to thank God for the gift of Dana's life. And she, again, like going back to what my mom had said to me when I was growing up, Dana really has helped me grow as a person. There's so many pieces of the puzzle in one's life, and Dana is a huge piece in the puzzle of my life. And she's meant a lot to me on my faith journey. And like I mentioned before with those fruits of the Holy Spirit, one of them is long-suffering, which has been real evident in her life for the past year and a half. And that's a fruit or a virtue that you know, we can either embrace or we can turn away from. And Dana, I think, she's really embraced her long suffering, and she's taught me with dignity how to grow. Mother Teresa is huge in my classroom. We're working on saint reports right now, and every year one of the students will choose Mother Teresa. And Mother Teresa has amazing quotes. The woman is just like, wow, I mean, no wonder she's on her road to sainthood. But one of the quotes that I picked up from her, I think really fits you, so I'd like to read it to you. I gotta put my glasses on here. I'm not sure exactly what heaven will be like, but I don't know that when we die and it comes time for God to judge us, He will not ask, how many good things have you done in your life? Rather, He will ask, how much love did you put into what you did? And Dana, you've put an amazing amount of love into everything you've done with your life. So God bless you, and I will meet you in heaven someday. I love you, Dana.
Honey, happy 50th birthday. I love you so much. We all love you so much. And we're looking forward to another 50 years. And I just hope that you can be as happy in the next 50 years as I have been in the past 35 since we've known each other. I love you very much.
Once you get done watching this, meet me over at the bar and I'll buy you a drink. Love you, Mom.
Happy 50th birthday, Mom. I love you very much, and even though I'm away at school, I still feel very close to you, and I'm always with you, even though I'm far away. And I love you. Buddy and I love you, Mom. Happy 50th.
Happy birthday, Mom. It's been wonderful. You are just a great person. I couldn't have asked for anyone better to raise me, to give birth to me, to love me as much as you do. And I'm so glad you're here. And happy birthday. I love you, Mom.
I love you, Dana. Happy birthday.
My God.
My God.
I love you. Love you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. That's right. Grandma. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Love for Grandma. Happy